Hi everyone, welcome back to Tinny Actual Speaking. My name is Jennifer Clyde. It is time for lesson 31, and today we'll be talking about sleep habits or sleeping habits. You all know what sleep habits are, right? You may have bad sleep habits, and you may not. Well, first of all, an average person needs at least 5 to 6 hours of sleep, they say. I actually asked our cameraman before we actually started shooting, and one of them said that he normally sleeps about 5 to 6 hours, and the other said 6 to 7 hours. Now, but one person makes sure he gets a 15-minute nap a day. And as for me, well, people say that adults and seniors should get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day. Maybe I'm getting old. I need at least 8 hours, 9 hours, even 10 hours will be perfect, wonderful. But of course, usually I go to bed around 2 o'clock in the morning and wake up at about 8 or 9, so I guess I'm getting plenty of sleep. But I like to sleep in on the weekends, meaning catch up on some Z's on the weekend. So how many hours of sleep do you get? Are you getting plenty of sleep? They say that if you get an adequate amount of sleep, it can really help boost your immune system. But if you don't get enough sleep, it can actually be very bad for you. You may have lack of concentration. You may be drowsy during the day and have a difficult time focusing on things and really being productive in the day. So anyhow, that is our topic for the day. Are you ready to get started? Here we go. Okay, let's begin today's lesson with our warm-up segment, of course, with the 5 W's and H. Once again, we are talking about sleep or sleeping habits, so keep that topic in mind. Let's begin with who? Who do you share your bed with? Of course, I use my bed alone. I don't share my bed with anybody, but for married couples, you may share your bed with your husband or wife, or even for some mothers, you may even sleep in the same bed with your children. So think about who you use your bed with or share your bed with. Who do you sleep with, in other words? Okay, and also, what are your sleeping habits? As I did mention, you can say sleep habits or sleeping habits. We're talking about habits, okay? So what are they? And then, what have you done to change or correct your bad sleep habits? So for example, one of the bad sleep habits people often have are snoring. Well, yeah, I think the most common one is snoring, but there's snoring, there's also sleep talking where you talk in your sleep. So think about those bad sleeping habits, and then also think about what you have done to change or correct your bad sleep habits, okay? Also, what are your pre-bed routines? A routine is basically what you do on a daily basis or on a regular basis, right? But pre-bed is before bed routine. So simply put, what are your pre-bed routines means what do you do on a regular basis before you go to bed? Think about those pre-bed routines. Also, what do you avoid doing? What do you try not to do? What do you avoid doing, eating, or drinking before bedtime? So what do you try not to do, okay? You can also think about, maybe, I try not to eat salty foods before I go to bed. You can talk about trying not to eat sweets before going to bed, or drinking coffee, anything with caffeine before going to bed. So think about those things as well. Now, what sleep tips do you have for people that can't sleep well at night? So do you have any sleep tips of your own, anything special that you know that you can perhaps tell other people if they cannot sleep well at night? Think about your special, your unique sleep tips. And also, what are the things that keep you up at night? Keep someone up at night basically means to keep you from falling asleep, keep you from sleeping at night. So what are those things that disturb you at night, that really keep you up, keep you from sleeping at night? Think about those things. Let's move on to our when category. When do you normally go to bed? Think about the time when you normally go to bed, go to sleep, and also where do you sleep? It's a pretty simple question, right? Do you sleep in a room? Do you sleep in the living room? Do you sleep on a bed? Do you sleep on the floor? So think about those things. Now, why do you have trouble getting a good night's sleep? A good night's sleep is what? It means to sleep well. So why do you have trouble? Why do you have problems sleeping well? In other words, think about that question as well. Now, finally, over to our how category. We've got 3, so here they are. How do your sleep habits affect your daily routine? So if you have bad sleep habits, how do they affect your daily routine? Meaning, how do they affect you during the daytime? Think about that as well. How many hours of sleep do you get on average? So how many hours do you sleep a day on average? Okay. And finally, how many hours of sleep do you need in order to function properly during the day? Now, function properly here basically means to really just go by the day or survive the day without trouble, without any hardships or difficulties. So how many hours of sleep do you need? Must you sleep to actually be awake and active and really be able to concentrate during the daytime? Think about these brainstorming cues and, of course, think of some more on your own. And that brings us to an end to today's warm-up. Let's now move on to actual talk.
So Rachel, you're in grad school now, so do you have to pull all-nighters?
Luckily, I haven't had to pull any all-nighters yet, but I do remember when I was in college and undergrad, I pulled all-nighters all the time.
Yeah,
I was so
did I.
sleep-deprived. Yeah, but you know, I'm not a very good sleeper anyway. I'm a very restless sleeper. I toss and turn a lot. I'm what they call a light sleeper. I don't sleep like a log at all.
Yeah, I'm a light sleeper as well.
Oh, yeah?
I wake up at the slightest sound.
But especially now that you have the babies, you have to be more alert, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always listening for it.
Right, exactly. How do they sleep? Do they sleep well throughout the night?
In the beginning, they wake up a couple of times, but usually the rest of the night they sleep pretty well now, thank God.
Yeah, that's really good. But I bet they force you to wake up early too. Are you more of like an early bird or a night owl?
Well, since the boys are early birds, I have to be up early.
Okay.
But I'm a bit of a zombie in the morning.
Oh, yeah, because you sleep late, it seems?
Well, I have so many things to do that I go to bed late even if I want to go to bed early.
Oh, I see.
But I've always been a bit of a night owl.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of a vampire. I like to suck the marrow out of life.
Oh.
I do my best writing at night, and I
Okay.
think best after like 5 p.m.
Oh, so you seem to be more productive in the evening time.
Yeah, when are you more productive?
I'm actually more productive in the mornings and the afternoons. So I consider myself an early bird. But I do go to sleep really early too. I hit the sack by maybe 10 p.m. the latest.
Really?
Yeah, but I think that's going to change when midterms and finals come up.
Yeah, 10 p.m. is early. I wish I could go to bed at 10 p.m.
But I
With
wake
the
up
boys getting
really
up so
early.
early.
Right, that's true. But I do wake up early. Yeah, in exchange.
Okay, well, as long as you get enough sleep and you're not sleep deprived,
Yes, you know
it's a
what
healthier
they
way
say,
to live.
Right, sleep deprivation can kill
Can
you.
kill you,
Right.
yeah. Wait, isn't it past your bedtime now?
I think it is.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Did you enjoy the actual talk between Peter and Rachel? So what did Rachel say? She said that she is a morning person, which means she is an early bird. She likes to go to bed early, very early. I think she said she goes to bed at around 10 p.m., or she tries to at least. She wakes up early in the morning, and she is more productive in the morning hours, the earlier hours of the day. And Peter seems to be the very opposite, right? He is a night owl, meaning he is a night person. He writes better at night, means he's more productive in the evening. Okay, let's check out what they said line by line. Now, Peter said, Rachel, you're in grad school. We all know she's in grad school. And he says, do you have to pull all-nighters? Pull an all-nighter or pull all-nighters. Now, this is an idiom, and it means what? To stay up all night, either working or studying. I guess you can party all night and say, I pulled an all-nighter last night partying as well. But keep in mind, to pull an all-nighter or to pull all-nighters means to stay up all night doing something. So he's asking, since you're in grad school, since I assume you need to study a lot, do you pull all-nighters? And Rachel says, luckily, well, I haven't had to pull any all-nighters yet. Okay, but in undergrad, but in undergraduate school, I pulled all-nighters all the time. And Peter says, so did I. Of course, I did too. And I'm sure you all pulled all-nighters when you were in school too, studying very hard, right? Okay. Now, Rachel says, I was so sleep deprived. Now, deprive itself, deprive. It means to take away, okay? So sleep deprived means that sleep is taken away from you. Simply put, lack of sleep. You're not getting enough sleep. So she's saying, I was so sleep deprived, meaning I wasn't getting plenty of sleep. I wasn't getting enough sleep, okay? And then she says, I'm a very restless sleeper. And she explains, I toss and turn a lot, okay? Toss and turn, okay? It means having difficulty falling asleep. You may lie in bed and toss and turn this way, turn that way, and have a difficult time falling asleep. She says, I toss and turn a lot. I'm what they call a light sleeper, okay? A light sleeper, and she says, I don't sleep like a log at all. Okay, let's take a look at these two expressions. First of all, a light sleeper is someone that wakes up even at the slightest sound, okay? So you don't fall into a deep sleep. Light sleeper, very sensitive to sound when you sleep. And she says, I don't sleep like a log. To sleep like a log basically means to fall into a deep sleep. Sleep really, really well. You may have children running around, screaming, laughing. You can have loud music being played, but it will not wake you up because you sleep like a log. But she's saying, I don't sleep like a log at all. In other words, she's a very sensitive sleeper, a light sleeper. Well, Peter says, I'm a light sleeper as well. He is too. I wake up at the slightest sound. At something means when you hear something, okay? I wake up at the slightest sound, meaning when I hear even the smallest sound, I wake up. So he is also a light sleeper. Let's move on. Now she says, especially now that you have the babies, you have to be alert. That's right. You have to be attentive. You have to be aware, right? Always listening for the babies. How do they sleep, the babies? Do they sleep well throughout the night? Okay, throughout the night means what? From the beginning until the end of something, throughout something. So she's asking, do they sleep well? Do they sleep well throughout the night? All through the night. He says, in the beginning, they wake up a couple of times, but usually during the rest of the night, they sleep pretty well. Now, thank God, he says. Okay, so now they sleep well, and he says, thank goodness for that. So he's talking about how the babies cannot sleep very well in the beginning, but once they fall asleep, yeah, they sleep well. Moving on. Now, Rachel says, are you more of an early bird or a night owl? I did mention this, right? Now, an early bird is a person that wakes up very early in the morning, that is more productive in the morning. Perhaps, say for example, you are a student. If you can study better in the morning, if you can concentrate better in the morning, and if you tend to wake up early in the morning, you are an early bird. But if you like to work late at night, you are wide awake, and you can concentrate better late at night, you are a night owl. Okay, I'm a night owl. I like to do things at night, I go to bed late, and I am not an early bird because I do not like to wake up early in the morning. So she's asking him, are you an early bird or a night owl? And Peter says, well, since the boys are early birds, I have to be up early. But I'm a little bit of a zombie in the morning. Okay, so he's a zombie in the morning. 아침에 그렇다. What is a zombie? We're going to take a look at this. A zombie obviously is, of course, the body of a dead person, right? So they're mindless, they're dull. So he's saying, I'm a zombie in the morning, meaning in the morning, I'm really dull, I'm mindless, I can't think, I can't concentrate. I'm walking around like this in the morning. So he's a zombie in the morning, okay? He's not a morning person. I have so many things to do that I go to bed late, okay? And then he says, I've always been a bit of a night owl. So here we go. He is a night person or a night owl. He says, I like to suck the marrow out of life, okay? This is something by Thoreau, and he actually did mention this in one of his books. Very, very popular saying. Basically, to suck the marrow out of life. Marrow itself here, M-A-R-R-O-W, is the tissue in the bones. I think in Korean it's called 골수, okay? So sucking that out of life basically means to enjoy life to the fullest. Focus on the great things in life, okay? Not worry about the bad things, but focus on the good things because life is short, okay? So he likes to suck the marrow out of life. He likes to enjoy every moment of life. And I do my best writing at night, and I think best after 5 p.m. So he's explaining why he thinks he is a night owl. So he does his best writing at night, okay? And also I think best after 5 p.m. during the later hours of the day, not in the morning. So she says, so you seem to be more productive in the evening. Okay, so here, be productive. It means to be more energetic, full of life, full of energy, more creative, effective, okay? So for example, if you can work a lot better in the morning, you can say, I am more productive in the morning. If you work better or study better late at night, you can say, I am more productive in the evening, just like Peter. All right, so, yes, that's right. And then he says, when are you more productive? So this time, Peter is asking Rachel when she is more productive, and she says, I'm actually more productive in the mornings and the afternoons. So I consider myself an early bird. So Rachel says she's an early bird, and she goes to sleep really early. Now, she's stressing. She says that I do go to bed or go to sleep really early. I hit the sack at maybe or by maybe 10 p.m. at the latest. So let's take a look at to hit the sack. To hit the sack, it means to go to bed, lie in bed, hit the sack. We'll take a look at some more expressions when it comes to hitting the sack or going to bed later on as well. Okay, and then moving on, yeah, Peter says, yeah, 10 p.m. is early. I wish I could go to bed at 10 p.m. And he says, as long as you get enough sleep, getting plenty of sleep, well, you're not sleep deprived. We take a look at sleep deprived, right? Lacking of sleep, not getting enough sleep. And he says, at least you're not sleep deprived. It's a healthier way to live. Yes, of course, as I did mention, the more you sleep, the better it is, right? And then Rachel says, sleep deprivation can kill you. Now, this is also sleep deprived. Sleep deprivation, basically meaning not getting enough sleep, can really, really harm you. It can kill you. She's just stressing it. And he says, wait a minute, isn't it past your bedtime now? Kind of jokingly, he says, isn't it past your bedtime now? And the conversation comes to an end. So everyone, now take a listen to the dialogue one more time between Peter and Rachel, and this time, check out the subtitles.
So Rachel, you're in grad school now, so do you have to pull all-nighters?
Luckily, I haven't had to pull any all-nighters yet, but I do remember when I was in college and undergrad, I pulled all-nighters all the time.
Yeah,
I
so
was
did
so
I.
sleep deprived. Yeah, but I'm not a very good sleeper anyway. I'm a very restless sleeper. I toss and turn a lot. I'm what they call a light sleeper. I don't sleep like a log at all.
Yeah, I'm a light sleeper as well.
Oh, yeah?
I wake up at the slightest sound.
I bet, especially now that you have the babies, you have to be more alert, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always listening for it.
Right, exactly. How do they sleep? Do they sleep well throughout the night?
In the beginning, they wake up a couple of times, but usually the rest of the night they sleep pretty well now, thank God.
Yeah, that's really good. But I bet they force you to wake up early too. Are you more of like an early bird or a night owl?
Well, since the boys are early birds, I have to be up early.
Okay.
But I'm a bit of a zombie in the morning.
Oh yeah, because you sleep late it seems.
Well, I have so many things to do that I go to bed late, even if I want to go to bed early.
Oh, I see.
But I've always been a bit of a night owl.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of a vampire. I like to suck the marrow out of life.
Oh.
I do my best writing at night, and I
Okay.
think best after like 5 p.m.
Oh, so you seem to be more productive in the evening time.
Yeah, when are you more productive?
I'm actually more productive in the mornings and the afternoons. So I consider myself an early bird. But I do go to sleep really early too. I hit the sack by maybe 10 p.m. the latest.
Really?
Yeah, but I think that's going to change when midterms and finals come up.
Yeah, 10 p.m. is early. I wish I could go to bed at 10 p.m.
But I
With
wake
the
up
boys staying
really
up so early.
Right, that's true. But I do wake up early. Yeah, in exchange.
Okay, well, as long as you get enough sleep and you're not sleep deprived,
Yes, you know
it's a
what
healthier
they
way
say,
to live.
Right, sleep deprivation can kill you. Right.
Yeah. Wait, isn't it past your bedtime now?
I think it is.
Now, are you ready to check out some expressions you can use when talking about today's topic? Today we are talking about sleeping habits or sleep habits. Also, whether you are a morning person or an evening person, an early bird or a night owl. So let's take a look. Here are some ways to talk about pre-bed routines. Remember, pre-bed meaning before bed, before going to bed. Routines, what do you do before going to bed? Okay, let's check it out. Now, do you watch television every night before you go to bed? If that's the case, you can say, I watch the tube every night before hitting the sack. Remember, Rachel said, hit the sack. Hit the sack, it means what? Right, to go to bed. Now, watch TV or watch the tube. The tube is another way of saying television. It is another name for television. So you can say, I watch the tube. I watch television. I watch TV every night before hitting the sack, before going to sleep. Okay, another one. Are you on the internet doing a lot of things before going to bed? In that case, you can say, I'm on the internet an hour every night, 2 hours every night, 30 minutes every night before crawling into bed. Now, crawl. Babies crawl. Insects crawl. Crawl. What does that mean? Of course, babies crawl. So this is another way of saying going to bed. One more time. Hit the sack. Crawl into bed means to go to sleep. Go to bed. So if you're on the internet, you can say, I'm on the internet for how long every night before crawling into bed. Okay, let's check out another one. I listen to music during pre-bedtime hours, okay? You can say during that time, pre-bed hours or pre-bedtime hours, meaning, right, just before you go to bed, you listen to music. All right, let's move on. I suffer from insomnia, sleep apnea, and also sleep deprivation. We took a look at this in today's actual talk. These are all ways to talk about sleep disorders or sleeping problems. A lot of people do have sleeping problems. They're much more serious than you think. But here, we've got insomnia. Insomnia. There even was that song, Insomnia song, anyhow. Insomnia is a very, very chronic inability to fall asleep. So if you have a hard time falling asleep, you can say, I have insomnia. Ooh, very, very difficult. So you can say, I suffer from something, an illness or disease, or insomnia, for instance. Also, sleep apnea is another one. Now, sleep apnea. What this is basically when you say you have sleep apnea, there are people that go to bed and while they fall asleep or while they sleep, they tend to stop breathing, right? They stop breathing and it can come along with snoring as well. So if you happen to fall asleep and sometimes have difficulty breathing and you tend to snore a lot and you are a bit obese, then you may have sleep apnea. It can be very, very dangerous. So that is what sleep apnea is. And simply sleep deprivation is just not being able to sleep, all right? So you can talk about these sleep disorders. I lie awake. I toss and turn until so-and-so in the morning. It means you cannot fall asleep. I lie awake. You're lying down in bed, but you're wide awake, or you toss and turn, move around in bed until 2 in the morning, until 1 in the morning, until 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? All right, blank, financial, work-related, health-related concerns. These worries, they keep me awake. Remember, keep you awake, keep you up. So because of these concerns, you cannot fall asleep. Now, ways to talk about sleep tips. These are some tips you can keep in mind if you have difficulty falling asleep. Keep your room cool at about 20 degrees Celsius. A cool room helps you fall asleep. So this is one tip. Another one is avoid coffee, tea, chocolate in the evening. Remember, as we were brainstorming cues, we said avoid eating, drinking, doing things. Talk about this. Avoid coffee or tea or chocolate in the evening. Or relax, meditate, or focus on calming thoughts before going to bed. These are tips that you can keep in mind if you want to go to bed easily. And also, now hang, blackout, or light-proof curtains to make your room pitch dark. This is what I do to sleep well. Dark rooms are very, very good for you to sleep well. So hang, blackout meaning curtains that are very, very dark. It does not let light in, sunlight in, or light-proof curtains to make your room pitch dark. It means very, very dark. Pitch dark, black. Okay, very dark. Okay, let's check out some more. My husband's snoring, loud breathing, teeth grinding keeps me from sleeping well. You can talk about your husband's sleep habits, right? We all know snoring, loud breathing, teeth grinding. Okay? Or you can say, I snore, I breathe loudly, I grind my teeth when I sleep. A few more. My wife's sleep talking, restless legs, stealing the blanket keeps me up half the night. So stealing the blanket is what? Especially when you sleep with somebody and that person takes the blanket and you have no blanket. You don't have a blanket to cover yourself. You can say someone steals the blanket. You can also say, I Sleep talk. You sleep in your talk. I talk in my sleep. Or I twitch. Twitch means to kind of move around or jerk and hog the blanket while I'm asleep. So quickly, let's take a look at this. Twitch and jerk, everyone. Here's an example. Twitch and jerk. This is the same thing as having restless legs. It means to go in your sleep, okay? So that's called restless legs syndrome, or you could just say I twitch or jerk while I sleep, or I hog the blanket while I'm asleep, meaning I take the blanket and just cover myself with the blanket. All right, that is a wrap for today's expressions, everyone. Job well done. Let's now move on to our next segment. Now it's time for today's idiom, everyone. We did cover a lot of expressions and learn some helpful expressions that you can use when talking about sleep habits. But here is an idiom related to sleeping. It is be or go out like a light. You can say the light went out means the light went out, now it's dark. But you can say I went out like a light. Here's a sample sentence. After all that work, I was out like a light as soon as my head hit the pillow. What does that mean? I was out like a light. Out like a light meaning you became unconscious. You fell into a deep sleep. The definition of be or go out like a light is 바로 돌아떨어지다. Okay? So the definition is to fall asleep very quickly, like turning off the switch for an electric light. Turning off the switch, it becomes dark. And for example, if you say a person goes out like a light, you fall into a deep sleep very quickly. Here is a sentence. I slept through all that noise last night. It was loud, but I slept through the noise. I was out like a night. I was out like a night. So keep today's idiom in mind and make use of it in the future.
Talk about your personal sleep habits and how they affect your daily routine. Are you an early bird or night owl? Do you usually get a good night's sleep? What time in the day do you feel most awake and productive?
Am I early bird or night owl? I think I can say I'm early bird. I woke up early compared with other people. And I think that's all because of my father. From when I was really young, my father kept saying to me, you should wake up early. And that was really annoying at the time. But now I feel really thankful. And because of that useful habit, it's really useful whenever I take the subway to go to my school. As you know, when we wake up a little bit late, the subway is really crowded, but when we wake up early, we can take subway which is empty. Yeah, I think being early bird is really good habit.
Well, it is time for today's actual interview, and thanks to our viewer, 조정관님, 감사합니다. It was a wonderful interview. I like the way he carries it out. You know, the way he answers the questions. He's very playful, very comfortable. Props to you. Okay, let's check out what he said. Some great points, first of all. He said, from when I was really young, okay, my father kept saying to me, he kept saying over and over and over, well, you should wake up early. So that's what he kept on saying. As he was a young boy, ever since he was a young boy, his father always said, you should wake up early. You should be an early bird. Okay, moving on. He says, it was really annoying at the time, but now I feel really thankful. Okay, so he's talking about the past and the present. Now he feels really thankful to his father for telling him to be an early bird over and over and over again. Job well done. Let's check out some oopsies. I woke up early compared with other people. Well, he's talking about a habit, what he usually does, when he usually wakes up. So the tense should be, I wake up. He still wakes up, even till this day, early. So you should say, I wake up early, not woke up. I wake up early compared to other people. Not compared with, okay, but should be compared to other people, compared to others. All right, and let's check out one more. When we wake up a little bit late, the subway is really crowded. But when we wake up early, we can take subway, which is empty. This part especially sounds a bit awkward, so what can you do? We could fix it simply by saying, when we wake up a little bit late, the subway is really crowded. That's fine. You can say, but when we wake up early, the subway is empty. Now remember to keep it the same, okay? Keep the flow. Here in the beginning was, the subway is really crowded. Then you can say the subway is empty, okay? Keep the flow. Don't jump from one tense to another. Keep it simple, and that will be wonderful. Okay, everyone, job well done. That is all for today's actual interview. Today we learned many things about sleep habits. I'm sure you have, and many different ways to talk about sleeping habits. Oftentimes I do have some more stuff prepared for our lectures, but not enough time. So for those that would like to find out more expressions you can use when it comes to sleeping or taking naps, you can check out our homepage for that. I'll give you the address later. But in the meantime, there is a song, or the saying my mom usually said to me when I was little. She said, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. It's just a cute way of saying good night. And sleep tight here means sleep securely, sleep well. Children love this, so the next time you have the chance and you have children around the house, you can say sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite, okay? All right, wonderful, everyone. Hope you had a lot of fun and, yes, learned lots through our lesson today. Next time I'll be joining you back with this topic. It was actually a topic posted or requested by one of our viewers. I hope you're tuned in today. We'll be talking about home improvement the next time. So until then, take care. And if you want some more info, you're more than welcome to come to our homepage and check out our scripts for the lessons. Come to www.ebse.co.kr and search for Tinikoi Actual Speaking. That's a wrap, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.